In the last video, I made these two forged carbon fiber plates, and today I'm going to show you how to fix all of the pinholes in them. Hopefully. Both of these are roughly sanded right now, so you got a more matte look. This is the plate that was cured with the heavy weight on top instead of in a vacuum bag. And the pinholes are really bad on this side. And here they're not quite as bad, but there's these like small bubbles just under the surface. This is the one that was in a vacuum bag. There's definitely still some pinholes after sanding. This is the side with the veil again, and I would say the veil was not a good move because again, we have these kind of small bubbles that are just under the surface once you sand through the veil, and still some large pinholes. So it didn't really help anything, it just made it a little bit harder to sand, so I'm going to try to fix that. The mix ratio on this is 1.2 to 1. Oh, that is very thick. My room is rather cold. We're going to do 6 grams approximately of A, and then 5 grams of B. It's hard to pour out such teeny tiny amounts, but I don't think I need very much of this. So I don't want to waste. I'll give it a good stir for a while. Warm me up, I'm freezing. Okay, Mr. Resin, here you go. Glass microspheres, just thicken this up a little bit. Make more of a fairing compound. I don't know how much to add, so I'm gonna try that. No, that's not enough at all. Do not use this in a windy environment. Better, but it's still pretty thin. Now it's getting to be more like a putty. That took way more than I expected. But I don't want this to be white, so I'm going to add some dye. That should be a pretty good carbon fiber color. Time to fill in some pinholes and see how this works. I'm trying to press it down into the recessed areas and then just scrape off the excess, and then I'll give it a final sand. So I feel like it's a pretty good idea. Originally, I was thinking that I would be doing just a little bit into each of these pinholes, but as I'm spreading it around, I'm just putting it over the whole thing. And I know that resin with microspheres is very easy to sand, so I'm not so concerned about this being an absolute bear to sand off any excess. So I'm thinking if I overfill slightly, that leaves a little more room for me to end up hopefully with everything flush with only one coat. I'm just gonna have to see, because I don't know what's gonna end up working best. But that's the, eating my hair, that's the trial and error. That's going to help me figure out what's the best option going forward. I just gotta try stuff. Let's warm you up again, my dear. Seems pretty good, hopefully. Now for the big one. This one's not nearly as bad, so I'm gonna try to be a little more selective. Only put the filler where I need it. We'll see how long that lasts. And the problem with resin that's the normal just plain resin is it's really hard to get it to go into the holes. The surface tension means it just doesn't want to go down. It wants to kind of sit on the surface. So I think I'm getting it into the holes better with it being more like a putty. Hopefully. So many little pinholes. Probably not going to get every single one, at least not in one go. But I'll do the best I can. And we'll see how it turns out. Hopefully it's going to be worth the effort. Have a nice smooth surface for painting on. It's very nice to paint on carbon fiber. I've done a couple of them now, and I enjoy it because you can leave parts of the canvas unpainted and you just get that cool forged look going on, sort of painting blending into forged carbon fiber. And the nice thing about that is your painting can't really be copied because that pattern is unique, and the way that carbon fiber looks in person is completely different than it's going to look in a photocopy of it. So that adds a really cool element to the original artwork, having that carbon fiber in there, because it's shifting with the light as you turn the piece, and it's just not going to happen if it's printed in ink. You're my angel of carbon. And there it is, sanded up to 220 grit. Pretty good. No obvious voids. There are some very, very tiny ones here somewhere. Like there's one. Missed the edge here a little bit, missed a couple spots, but I'd say that's pretty good. This is a part that has the filler in it, I think. That is entirely functional though. Compared to the back, where I didn't do any filling, this one had so many voids. This would be no good for painting on. It's very annoying to have all these low spots. And the large panel, this one didn't have nearly as many voids in it. There's still some very, very, very tiny spots. That one's a little more noticeable. I just missed that. I think that might be a spot where there's filler. It's kind of hard to tell. Again, overall, really good. Totally smooth enough for painting. And with the 220 grit sanding, you get this sort of reflective look. Compare that to the back. There were some pretty nasty voids on the back side that I didn't fill. So just for reference versus the filled version. Well, I would call that a success using the microspheres in the epoxy with the black dye to fill in all of the pinholes. It's nice and smooth now, ready to be painted on. But what do you think? Do you have any better ideas for how to get a nice surface for this? Does this look like something you'd want to do a painting on? Let me know your thoughts.